Nightwing, issue 104, Tom Taylor writing with Travis Moore on the art. This is wrapping up the story of protecting young Olivia. Nightwing, or Superwing, I should call him, for this issue. He got powers at the end of last issue, and he's got 2 hours to make use of them. And, you know, as expected, he swoops in to help, and he goes out of his way to go and see Superman while he has these powers to sort of, you know, meet Superman on his level in a way that he's never been able to before.
He goes to help Wally first as well.
He goes to help Wally too, yeah. So, you know, they sort of hit some key beats that kind of make sense to play with if Nightwing has powers for a couple hours. You know, there's little bits in narration where he's talking about how he's literally seeing the sun rise in minutes because he's traveling so fast, you know, towards the horizon. You know, so the little bits like that. Honestly, probably the big thing here, and it's actually kind of a little lead in to maybe some plot we're getting in Titans, is Raven going and basically murking or helping the other demon chick kill Neron. Yeah. That was kind of cold and like, oh. And it does point out, oh, there's something missing, something's different about Raven that we're going to have to, you know. That's not so Raven, one might say.
That is not so Raven. So
Connor loved that. He's pretending he didn't. He loved it.
Oh, it was terrible.
What got me is like I loved Dick going to see Superman, and Superman's going, "Hey, you gotta come up here," and they go to see, you know, get the big view of the Earth, you know, and Dick's like, oh, you know, in his narration he's talking about how he's seen the Earth like this, but from like a satellite. He's never seen it just with his own eyes, and it puts everything into perspective and how big of the world is, you know. And like, yeah, he could, you know, have these powers, but, you know, he's not going to risk Olivia for it. And it just tells me what type of person that Dick Grayson is, right? Yeah. And this is what Taylor's been doing from the start.
And he was never going to. There's never even a moment where he thinks about it or considers it. It's just, no, this is for 2 hours, and then they're gone, and that's it. Like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Olivia tries to tell him, hey, maybe you should take the deal.
Right.
But he's still like, no.
No.
Yeah, of course.
But the other thing, too, is that Neron, as he's in hell and realizing, like, you know, that he stepped in it, Trigon coming to talk to him. And it felt to me like an office, not like the office, but like in a corporate office.
Yeah, like the
guy from VP.
Yeah, like an executive came downstairs to talk to this guy who's effing up and needs to get his shit in line.
Yeah, and I love that so much, and it makes me want like a miniseries. I know Tom Taylor's doing a whole lot of stuff, but I would pay for a miniseries of these inner workings of hell, and just Neron constantly screwing things up because he's having people make the wrong deals, right? So like the Grinning Man, like who does that help besides the Grinning Man? You know,
that was a weird turn of phrase. I mean, you always. Like, that's how comics work. You pay for them. When you say I'd pay for something, usually it's because it's something you wouldn't have to pay for.
No, but what I mean is like I'm definitely in the audience. I don't know who. Yeah, pay extra. I don't know who else is in that bubble with me, like of the Venn diagram. But I thoroughly enjoyed the dialogue between Trigon, because it wasn't this big, you know, menacing, like, Trigon's this big, huge, you know, demon. But like his dialogue is all very normal. Like, oh man, you messed this up, and it's your ass, dude.
I mean, I think the old joke that, or the idea of like showing hell or something like hell as more of a bureaucratic, like mundane nightmare is actually something that does get done from time to time.
Yeah.
So I can see where the humor in that comes from, and like how you do it. So Nightwing's got a callback to the Nightwing is awesome thing. His sticks have still got a little bit of the Nightmite just in them. So we get that. And
Neron turns into a slug with tentacles.
His true form, which another thing that I like that was introduced, which I don't know if that's been a thing for Neron. Like that's just the form that we get, but the fact that he's this almost Lovecraftian tentacle beast, you know, I do enjoy that.
Yeah, and then young Olivia gets a little outfit and is going to go live and train on Themyscira, and they promise that she can be a Titan when she grows up a bit, which is all very sweet. But she picks a name. She calls herself, was it Nightbuster?
Nightbuster, yep.
And you're like, oh, you combine Nightwing with your father's name, and obviously I think the audience maybe collectively goes, but like your father is awful and tried to have you, like, you know, killed or sold your soul.
He sold your soul, kid.
Yeah. But instead, she's like, yeah, because he wouldn't like that. And I'm like, and then Raven's like, pissing off the father. Yes, that I understand. Yes.
Yes.
I can get behind this.
Yep. Which I did like, and it's a kid name, right? So like, kids don't make great decisions. So I'm okay with her having a goofy sounding name.
I mean, Blockwing was sitting right there.
But Blockwing, I mean, that's close to blockchain, and you can't have that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So.
Dear.
But yeah, so I like that. I like that she's gonna train at Themyscira because you can't have this little kid running around Titan's Tower. So her going there and Donna's people, training her and giving her a home.
Yeah,
Nice.
I do love that after Raven uses her power on Neron, he's lying there like either dead or unconscious. I love that one arm's actually like 3 tentacles. It's like he's inhuman on form, except like just one part of him, just a bunch of tentacles. I kind of like that as just a little bit in the art. But yeah, so it sets up some stuff. Obviously, Raven and her relationship with Beast Boy is going to be a big part of Titans, based on that first issue. So yeah, I mean, this was I think I've been kind of adamant from the start of this arc that it's probably been my least favorite arc of Taylor's Nightwing, and I still like it a lot. Because it's been kind of separate from him in the city and him, helping the city and the stuff with Heartless and all that. Like, I think all that's been so great that this just inherently was not that, and therefore a little bit lesser as a result.
Was the issue where the Titans all showed up before this arc?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was when they were all trying to assassinate Dick.
Yeah, I think I'm just mixing it up because Titans.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that case, I agree. This is definitely my least favorite part of the run as well. Again, still good. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. Moore's good on the art.
It's great. That panel of Dick and Superman looking down on the Earth is beautiful stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Well, his Trigon too.
There's a little point that still misses having, it's not a Redondo arc, right? So it's not a real arc almost.
No, it's very good, and I think what's interesting is I do think Titans issue 1 also I like more than this arc, which is good because that's like an ongoing Titans book, and it's going to keep going. I think part of me was like, oh, this is good, but is this going to be the quality of the Titans book? But the Titans issue 1 was already like, oh no, this is already better than this arc.
It very much has backdoor pilot feeling to it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
It's fine. I'm glad if this is kind of what it took to get the Titans book, essentially. I'm willing to sacrifice an arc of Nightwing to be slightly weaker to get that book in existence.
And to be fair, I did say last week, Titans issue 1 felt like a true issue 1. It didn't feel like you had to have read anything before that. Obviously, there's this little tease at the end with Raven, but it doesn't feel like you'll be missing anything too bad.
I'm sure that'll pick up properly in its own book.
Yeah.
And be reintroduced in a way that doesn't just feel like, it's a tough shit, you didn't read Nightwing.
Yeah. So while there's a backdoor pilot quality, I don't think it feels like it was a shoehorn thing that you had to read Titans. It's a natural inclusion of them, and then the Titans book starts properly on its own, which is good. So, that was a solid fun issue. I like the Dick with powers. Going to see Superman was good. Stuff with Olivia was kind of sweet, and the little tease of like Raven's having a darker side at the end was also exciting just for her plot going forward. So solid stuff. Backup is there. We have this circus mystery.
It's kind of weird.
I felt like this was 2 different writers.
Well, Joey, it felt like to me, because last time it felt like they'd almost solved it, and then there was a little thing at the end that said no, but there's still a bomber to find.
Yeah.
When I read this part, I actually couldn't remember a lot, other than the fact that I knew it was almost solved, and then it was like, oh no, there's still someone to find. I felt like you could have just skipped the last part or two, and this would have still played as just the ending to the first part.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we had it's like they had a choose your own adventure ending. So you had one with the kid who accidentally maybe injured his own parents potentially, or was going to, and then you've got this plot with the actual bomber, and it was like, well, you could do either or, but they decided to do both, and it kind of felt weird. I got to when this started, I was like, it's such an easy solution as well. Yeah, they just check the cameras and that guy, we fired him because he was a dickhead.
Yeah, and a guy that hated carnivals. He got a job at a carnival.
Yeah, like
Weird.
it felt so easy as a solution that like, why didn't we get this straight away?
Yeah, the only thing that I really liked about this backup this week is that I thought it was quite dark that the guy put bombs in the stuffed toys. I thought that was quite sinister, and I appreciated that little detail. But other than that, yeah, I kind of felt like this plot was already done, but we kind of tacked on that there's still someone to find. So here we are.
So we had to have John not understanding circus games,
which I don't understand because like he's not.
He grew up
like
here.
He's been gone.
Yeah,
he grew up here, right? And like. We had that great issue of them at the fair, right? That
like
so him. There's still a way to do that because I did like the idea, like him going, "Well, this won't fit over there," and Dick kind of like, "Yeah, but
there's a way of doing it with him, like knowing and still being like, but I know you're cheating, so I'm going to cheat." So, but the way this plays it, it's as if he's genuinely oblivious.
Yeah,
right.
so
It's almost
just,
like it's
so just to clarify what's happening here. They're doing the fair games where you throw the rings to get on the pegs for things. And John goes to play and he's like, wait, these rings aren't big enough. They'll never fit on those pegs. So he stretches it out and then wins. And then afterwards, Dick says something and John, it kind of makes it clear that John was like, I hope that helps. Is that he doesn't realize that this was an intentional scam, that this guy's ripping people off by making a game unwinnable.
I know John's meant to be good-natured, again, because, Superman, but... Yeah. He's not a moron.
No.
He's not a rube.
This would work for, maybe not now, but like this would work for like Wonder Woman when she's just first.
No. This is a Starfire plot.
Oh, Starfire. Yeah, it would work with Starfire.
So I was gonna say, Connor took the words out of my mouth. This is Starfire, not understanding Earth traditions.
Yeah, it's an alien or it's someone who's not been here, but while he missed a few years, John did grow up on Earth. He's not an idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also would have liked that, Dick, despite growing up at Wayne Manor and whatnot, him still being a little bit of Carney in him, and him just telling John like, yeah, but that's how they make money. This is how they take care of themselves is by this. And so it's this kind of not even a dilemma, but kind of this.
It's one of those things where because everyone who goes to a carnival and plays the game, everyone knows it's all
right. And for Dick to explain that to him was like. Yeah, like we're all kind of in on it, but we do it anyways because this is their livelihood.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, right?
You're right. And so if you win, great. And him taking time to explain that to John, I think would have made more sense. Been like, just leave it alone, man. Not everything has to be fair. But this was a rough read, and I didn't mind the first two parts of this. Of the Chappie stuff and
but it's been more than 3 though. It's like this is at least the 4th. This has to be going the whole arc. So this is like part 5 of this, maybe 6.
It might be.
So I didn't mind the other parts. Like it was a pleasant enough read, but this one just not like Connor said. It's a choose your own ending. It's one I wish I didn't choose.
Well, I think I felt off a little bit last time because it was like, there's still someone to find. There's still like a bomber to find. That already felt weird. And then this entire part just played out like, why are we doing this? This is like, you came up with a story, but it was one part short because it was meant to last until the end of the main arc was done. And, we have to just stretch it out for one more, 10-page story. Yeah. So
also the art on John, give him that weird half mullet thing.
Oh, do not like the mullet.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of 90s Superman mullet. I did not like this John mullet, I'll say that.
Not on John, though.
I don't, because I don't know if you guys are aware mullets are back.
Yeah. Connor, I watch hockey, of course I know.
No, but like among the kids.
Kids?
Yes, like amongst teenagers, mullets are in.
I think this happens every 20 years because
it's awful. It's hideous. I'm like, why are you wearing mullets?
Yeah.
What? You all look terrible because everyone looks terrible in a mullet. That's just a fact.
Back when I was in high school, they were a thing.
Yeah,
well.
Right, so, exactly.
Well, really?
I thought they died. I thought they left.
Yeah, so maybe this is just a 20-year cycle. I don't know.
I thought it was a 40-year cycle. I didn't realize they'd been back since. Like, obviously there was still some in the 90s, but the stuff in the 90s was left over from the 80s.
Yeah, I still think of them as 80s, 90s. Maybe, I don't think they had a second window over here until now. But they're definitely back now, and it's awful. And that's the only reason I can think of that why they're drawing John with a mullet. I mean, like, hey, he's one of those youths.
Bro, there's no.
This is how do you do fellow kids energy again.
It is.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Jay, his boyfriend, is way too. There's no way he would allow him. He's not the truth, right? Like Jay would be like, "You got to cut that."
Jay's like, John, you're not getting any until you cut that mullet.
Yeah.
It's not even, just like, you look dumb. Like, so, yeah, there's just no way. But yeah, that was the other thing that stood out to me when I was reading that. I was like, ugh, not a good look for John.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's rate Nightwing, shall we? Matt, what you give it?
I'm going to give this an 8.
Yeah, got it.
I'm gonna give it a 7. It's good.
Do I split the difference again and give the exact duplicate of the last scores? Yeah, I think I will. 7.5.
There you go.